Welcome, Game Yard family. Thank you so much for joining us as we look on England's 8 wicket win over the West Indies in the first T20 match in Barbados, Kensington Oval in Barbados. We will be looking on Phil Salt, magnificent century, and also look on where West Indies would have gone wrong in this first T20 international. So England would have won the toss and elected to bowl. And early in the match, England would have had the West Indies team on their back foot. They at one point they would have been 69 for 5 in the ninth over. And to be honest with you, I thought it would be a very short game, a very routine game. But we would have seen the West Indies, lower order. They would have fought back with the bat, right? Russell would have made 30 from 17 deliveries, and we would have seen an unbeaten 35 from 22 deliveries from Romario Shepherd. Uh, Buda Kishmoti would have made 33 from 14 deliveries. And earlier, Nicholas Puran would have made 38 from 29 deliveries. And West Indies would have posted, a very good score of 182 runs. Saqib Mahmood would have broken the back of the West Indies, and he would have taken 4 wickets, 4 for 34, and that would have been his best T20 bowling figures. So many of us may, have thought that the score of 182 is a below par score, but the average first innings score, T20 score, in Barbados, at Kensington Oval in particular, is 153. So 182 would be above par. Not only that, the highest successive run chase at the Kensington Oval in T20 cricket prior to this game would have been 172. So that would have shown that the score of 182 was a defendable total. Now England, in their reply, they would have lost Will Jack. Will Jack was the first to go. He made 17 from 10 deliveries, and Josh Butler would have been brilliantly caught, and the third man boundary by Buda Kishmoti. And when Will Jack fell, the score was on 73 for 1. And so Josh Butler would have made, a one ball duck, would have made a golden duck. But Phil Salt and Jacob Bethel, they ensure that England crossed the line without losing any more wickets. So England would have won the match by 8 wickets. So Phil Salt, as I said before, would have made an unbeaten 103, and he would have made that from 54 deliveries, scoring 9 fours and 6 sixes at a strike rate of 190.74. That was some serious ball beating, and I think Phil Salt would have made full use of the bad deliveries the West Indies bowlers were bowling. And I'm going to get to West Indies bowling shortly. So this century was Phil Salt's third century, and in T20 international, and third against the West Indies. So he loves to play against the West Indies. We know Phil Salt at the top of the innings can be very brutal. We would have seen that for KKR, so many times in the IPL. So Phil Salt was supported by Jacob Bethel. He would have made an unbeaten 58, and so England would have taken a 1-0 lead in the match T20 series. All right, so I will be looking on where did West Indies, go, or where they would have gone wrong in this match. And I mean, it is very clear, that our bowling execution was very poor, and you cannot bowl bad balls to good players. They will capitalize on that, and we would have seen Phil Salt making full use of the bad deliveries, especially our seamers. They were bowling right. Think as I said, the execution was very poor. I didn't see any consistency in our bowling, any consistency in bowling, back of a length delivery or hard length delivery. I didn't see consistently where we would have bowled any, wide Yorkers. Uh, our bowlers, I think they were just all over the place. Didn't see any of our seam bowlers trying to hit the top of half stump. Our bowling was just all over the place, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why England would have won the match. We need to execute our skills better, and I think we can do better. I have seen where we would have bowled consistently in the ODIs, and other than the second ODI, but the first and the third ODI we were very good in terms of hitting those good length, and so I just expect us to get back to that. I think this match we were very very off as it relates to putting the ball in the right area. I want to make another point because I think Sammy should be held accountable for the team selection. To be honest with you, I I think the team or the players should be selected on merit, and I think Ruston Chase and Matthew Ford, they would have been playing some really good cricket, and I'm really I really can't understand why they were not included in the first T20 international, right? I really can't see the basis for Hetmyer and Romario Shepherd's their selection. I can't see the basis for their selection. Romario Shepherd was horrible in Sri Lanka in the T20s, right? And Etmaya, I think he lacks much sharpness. If you would have watched my video prior to this, looking on the squad selection, I would have mentioned that, right? Etmaya should not be playing over Ruston Chase at this point. Ruston Chase has been playing some really good, consistent cricket. He was very good with the ball for us in the last ODIs and also in Sri Lanka. I mean, he's a very versatile player, and the reason why I'm saying this also, the match last night that was the nature of the game, would have been ideal for a Ruston Chase because we would have lost 3 wickets in the power play. And you needed a player to come and try to steady the innings, right? And I think Ruston Chase could have done that. But Sammy would have gone with Etmaya. He came in and he would have gotten a golden duck. But I I think that and I still hold into this Ruston Chase and Matthew Ford, they would have, based on their performance, I think they, merit an inclusion in the first game. Really not sure the basis for Sammy's non-selection of these two players, but that's behind us, and we can't really dwell on the past, but we want to be better going into the future. And going back to the bowling, a lot of people may argue that, the ball was wet, because of the inclement weather and probably the dew factor. as we know that we have view factor when you play day-night games, right? But this is international cricket, and we will have to play in any type of condition. So in our preparation, these things should be incorporated in our preparation. So I we cannot use wet ball as an excuse, right? I think even in our practice session, we should allow the seam bowlers and also the spinners to bowl wet ball in the nets so that they can have an appreciation for it, so that in the event that we have to play in those conditions, then the guys would be ready to play. So we can't really hide behind the fact that the conditions were not ideal for cricket. But we have to play in these conditions, and we have to just be better going forward. And I really like to give credit where credit is due. I think Jacob Bethel, he has been, it has been growing into the game. I would have seen him in the ODIs. He would have made a 50 in the ODIs, and now he would have made a 50 in the T20I. I can foresee that he will be, a player to reckon with going forward. And I just hope that he will continue to, to put in the hard work, and just stay focused and continue to play his cricket. He is, very good. He was very good last evening, and to be honest with you, the fact that he even play until the end, just show the type of player he is. He wants to be at the end because he didn't want to give away his wicket, and that just says a lot about this young player. So the good thing about the loss, is that West Indies, when you lose a game, you don't want to wait long, for you to make amends. And the good thing is that the next game will be in a couple hours from now. So I just hope that West Indies will, go out there and to execute their skills properly in every facet of the game. I am confident that we will bounce back from this loss, and I just hope the guys, will just, remain focused on the task ahead, and I know that they will come good. So good luck, guys, in the second match, and thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next video.